And welcome. We are live here with LT, Derek Barksdale, Military Mutual. How you doing, brother?
I'm outstanding.
Giving away a lot of money here.
I know, it's a pledge, and we're committed to it.
So tell us, why is Military Mutual going to give away $10,000, and who's it going to go to? What's going on here?
Well, you know that Military Mutual is founded on the sole principle of giving back to our military, veterans, their family members, and we do so through real estate primarily, and that's how we got into this arena. And we've created our own nonprofit organization that we could contribute towards. And more recently, I don't know if you know, but we have this great show called the Military Mutual Alliance Center.
I do know about that.
You know about that, right? Absolutely. Well, we've come across some really, really great guests who just happened to join us on the show. They told us about our organization or their organization and realized that some of them are very large. I mean, we have the USO in here, we have Easter Seals, we have a lot of organizations that are part of this. And they're passionate, they're giving back to our military veterans and their families. So meeting with our organization, our agents, and our leadership, we decided that, you know what, we have to do something. You know, it's good to spread the visibility, and I'll talk about that a little bit in the future, but really to give them something that they can move on with and help those veterans through their resources and what they contribute. So quite frankly, we have so far 10 people that we've identified for the remainder of this year that these funds will be going to. On the Military Mutual Alliance Center, we've had organizations like the USO. We've had STEP, Support the Enlisted Leadership Project, Armed Forces or Armed Services YMCA. We've had San Diego Military Advisory Committee. We've had just a plethora of people who've just really done some great things, and I love their passion, and we want to help support their passion is what it is.
Yeah, and we've actually got a little B-roll here, Carrie, if you want to show the screen. This is the page, the Military Mutual Alliance Center, right here. You've got STEP on there, Armed Services YMCA, and you guys have had like a who's who of people on here. The SDMAC.
Yeah, San Diego Military Advisory Committee. Randy Bogle joined us on the show, and man, what they do, I've always heard of SDMAC is what it's named as, and the great thing is they really provide a bridge between the military, private sector, the military and the private sector, because there are businesses that are out there that of course support the military, but a lot of times they don't really know what they're supporting or how they could best support the military. And so they bridge that gap. They provide a great economic impact report that comes out that really tells where the money is and where the money is going in the city of San Diego and how the military is a part of that. And it really is beneficial for the businesses, even like my own, to understand, wow, that's why we're doing what we're doing, and that's why we're here, and we're doing those things. So really, they just are involved in the military community, helping military out, and they're able to provide through also a 501c6, which is also a nonprofit organization, to provide for military organizations and veteran-owned businesses as well.
Yeah, just tons of help. It's a perfect alignment. You're able to bring these people on now, give them exposure. Now, giving away $10,000.
$10,000.
10 grand. It's like a game show, man. This is legit. I mean, we could do the $10,000 pyramid in here, 10 grand.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, it's a little bit scary. I put my foot out there because we don't have the $10,000 yet, but we've made a full-on pledge to make it happen. If it doesn't happen, Military Mutual will step up and make it happen. But I've put all of our agents to the test. Each of them will be providing a portion of their compensation that they receive from buying and selling homes towards supporting this. And so the Military Mutual brokerage is going to match each one of those compensation splits to support this organization. And $10,000 is the bottom bar. Our goal is to get much more than that, but $10,000 is where I feel really comfortable with putting my neck on the line and saying, hey, we'll get this done. So it's really good because we have people within our organization who really believe in giving back and really helping people out. And we've given thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars away with Military Mutual over the years. And not knowing where that money was going was one of those things where, you know, hey, it was good to put a check in the mail and say, hey, we've donated. But really having that tangible experience, knowing the people that have been on the Military Mutual Alliance Center, I mean, like Tony Taraveno, I mean, that guy speaks with so much passion about what he's doing. And you could just tell that every ounce of his energy is going towards helping our E6 and below, more importantly. And there's so many other people that are out there that we're able to support and help through this.
That's so cool. And you're still looking for maybe some of the organizations that you'll be giving the money to.
Yeah,
isn't that correct? So we're looking for suggestions. So now, what kind of organizations do you want, or are you looking for people to suggest to potentially be involved with the Alliance Center and be eligible for this $10,000?
Sure. Well, right now we're working with the San Diego Military Family Advisory Council, who will hopefully be on our show here shortly. We're just working out some logistics on timing with them. But those are like the organizations that really give back to our military veterans and their families. Anything that has a direct connection with our military, family members, where they are either receiving some support, they're receiving money, or they're receiving some sort of counseling or whatever it may be. That's where we really want to give our funds to, and not where it's a one-man show where someone's calling themselves their own nonprofit organization. You're paying their overhead, which I found there's unfortunately a lot of that that's going on. They do have good intentions, but a lot of times all you're doing is just paying their monthly, bill sometimes. So we do vet everyone that's been on the show. We do vet everyone that we ultimately give money to. But if you want to help out, if you have an organization that's out there that's either helped you as a military veteran or family member that you think should be a part of the show and ultimately be a part of this $10,000 giveaway, please let us know. You can feel free to email me directly at derek@militarymutual.org or give us a call at 1-888-580-0150, and we'd love to, get them on the show.
Just make sure you know he spells Derek weird. So
I think I'm not an oil Derek. I'm not an oil Derek. I'm a person Derek.
Yeah. Just Zoolander. Just think Zoolander.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Just think Zoolander, and you'll have it right. Derek.
So maybe I should get one that just says LT@militarymutual.org, right? And then I won't have this when I come on board with you, right? That's cool, man.
So any organization that is providing benefits, services,
sure,
assistance to military members and their families.
Yeah.
That's who you're really looking to help.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, USO, great organization. I always thought of USO as the Bob Hope shows overseas, but man, how they're ingrained they are. And Ashley is, one of the leading directors here in San Diego, and what she's doing and really making happen is huge. We have Joanne that's with the Enlisted Leadership Foundation. They're the ones that put different things on, like the Leadership Foundry and the CPO Pride Day. All these things that, they're behind the scenes, they're forgotten about, but I want to bring them to the forefront. I'd love to be able to hand that check over to them and just see the smile on their face, because I think, who was it, Tim Nye, that, he's with the Armed Services YMCA. He said, it's the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning, that I get out of bed and I love what I'm doing and I go towards it. And guess what? They aren't paid that well. It's not like they're getting these six-figure, paychecks, that are coming in. They're really in it for the right reasons and the passion, and we want to stand behind their passion.
That's amazing. So opportunity, you could comment on this video if you want. Comment, hey, if you got an idea, you got an organization that's helping military members and their families that could use some of this $10,000 or more. Could be more than 10,000. Pledge 10 grand for sure. Then comment. Let us know about those organizations. Maybe make a connection. We'll try to get them involved with the Military Mutual Alliance Center and get them eligible for this $10,000. Let's see. We got Maurice says, recommend that you donate to the San Diego Veterans Coalition.
Yeah, San Diego Veterans Coalition is a great organization. Maurice Wilson himself runs a very good organization. Maurice, we got to talk, man. I know you've been on the show with us in the past, but I really want to get you on to the Military Mutual Alliance Center as well. He runs Reboot NVTSI.
Oh, that's right.
Great organization, man. Geez, wonderful organization.
Boy, that is a really good one. Just so we can talk about that for just a second here, because I mean, Reboot is great. Yeah. The idea behind Reboot is you come off active duty, you should need to reboot, hit the reset button, get get to civilian life, it takes a little work.
Yeah, they're able to even get them before they get off of active duty. And when
really?
they come on, basically there's this programming that happens when you're in the military. When you go through boot camp, it starts right there. You know, it comes from shaving your head and taking away all your belongings, and you're there. And, you know, people say they brainwash you. Well, necessarily they brainwash you, but they do program you. And there's a lot of things that, you know, unfortunately.
Sort of strip the ego out of you, right? You just say, listen, it's no longer about you.
Yeah, I love it.
It's not about you anymore. It's about us, and you take orders from me.
There you go.
That's
a lot of it, because, and when you're used to taking orders, military members do so well at taking orders. By the time they're done with a 4 or 8 year career, and of course when you do 21-year career, you know, you're good at taking orders and ultimately later on giving orders. But there's a way that in Reboot that they're able to find out what's really good for you. What does Derek Barksdale need, or what does Derek Evans really find his passion to do? Because quite frankly, unfortunately, a lot of people get out of the military and you're like, oh, okay, what are you going to do? You get out? I don't know. I'm going to get a job. What are you going to do? I don't know. You know, and unfortunately, they get out there and then they're used to just doing what they're told, and no one's there to tell them what to do. So what Maurice Wilson and Reboot really have an opportunity to do is get in there and let them find their passions and let them really get through the pain that they have, because there's a lot of pain that we all endure, not only in the military, before the military, and there's some things that are holding us back, and to break through those barriers is really what Reboot is about.
Yeah, and having someone from the outside to coach you through those things, to be able to tell you, okay, I know you're thinking this way right now, and I know why, and here's what it is. And you get a full understanding of what's going on there. And then finding that purpose, that's the thing that's really tough, right? When you go from, you have this great purpose to, okay, go sit behind the desk over there and get a paycheck every couple of weeks. That's a big mindset shift.
It is.
And so you need to refine purpose too. So I love that they've aligned the concept up around that. Like, hey, let's find out what really gets you moving.
Yeah.
Because your days of protecting the country might be over, but you're still a passionate person. You know, it's still in you.
Yeah.
Let's just point it in the right direction.
It's great. And, you know, I mean, with what Reboot, ironically enough, he's up here, what they've done is they've really taken all of the best leadership books, all of the best self-help books, and combined it into this course that they provide. And, you know, it's funny, when I was talking with Maurice, I was talking about, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders, and How to Win Friends, Influence People, and, Procrastinate on Purpose, all these different books, And he's like, that's part of this, and that's part of that. So they've really well defined it. And that's, the passion that he has. I mean, this guy, Maurice, is a retired Master Chief. He's doing pretty well. He doesn't need to do what he does, but he gets out there because he has that overarching goal of being something bigger than just himself and supporting a cause. And that's exactly what you got with all the others. John Funk with the Easter Seals, and Cynthia, his partner there. They've really, looked into somewhat the same thing, really helping people that have disabilities maybe, and some ways of finding about what works for them. And it's just, man, what I wanted to talk about is the visibility piece, because when I was in the military for 21 years, there were many times that I needed some help. Many times that I needed some help. Many times that my family needed help. And the help was out there. I just didn't even know, 1, where it was, or 2, I was concerned, if I asked for help, is it going to look bad upon me? Do I not know how to manage my career? If I can't manage my household, or if I can't manage my finances, how can I manage 50 men, that I'm now leading? So that's what the Military Mutual Alliance Center is about, adding the visibility, letting people know that, hey, these other organizations are really out there, because the military does their best, as far as letting people know the organizations that support them. But until I got out and start going to the San Diego Veterans Coalition, or start going to, the San Diego Family, now I forgot, Military Advisory Council, did I start realizing, wow, look at all these organizations that help out. I wish I knew about this. And that's what, the show's about, and then really supporting those that really step it up and, provide and so forth. So it's an honor.
Yeah, so we have $10,000.
$10,000.
Minimum $10,000 going to be donated by Military Mutual, and the agents at Military Mutual are all pitching in here.
Yes.
To try to create visibility for these organizations by donating some money to them. The organizations that are helping military members and their families.
Affirmative.
Let's see, what does Joe have to say here? It's hard to match some of your military skills with civilian terminology.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Joe Asher, that's an old shipmate of mine right there. And just the skills that you have, that you acquire, it's where does that marry up, It's funny, like if it's pretty easy. Like if you're a cook, you can go out and be a cook somewhere else. But let's say you're in the military and you work in a field that is strictly towards what I used to do, a signalman, right? I used to be a signalman. You know what a signalman is?
No.
Nonverbal communications, and that's what Joe was as well. Joe actually was the same thing with me back when I was 23 years old, years ago and stuff. And so we're doing nonverbal communications or nonverbal communication. So it would be semaphore, where you're sending flags, and sending them that way, flashing light, or raising flags and hoisting, and then providing information for the captain to make decisions on where he wants to move the ship, or information that may not need to be telegraphed. Well, how do you go out to McDonald's and say, I want to be a leader in your organization because I was a signalman? They're like, what does that fit in, But the leadership skills that are behind, making sure that the logistics are, there to support the people that you lead, and leading the people, making sure that they're ready for advancement. All those things are the tangible skills that are there that don't really reflect through what we would say the job title is. And there's plenty of other jobs that are in the military that are like that, but you have Reboot, you have Easter Seals, you have just all these other organizations, Workshop for Warriors, all these things that can tie that all together and make it right.
Yeah, and also, coachability is a really important skill.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have it. I don't have it. I am not
yeah,
coachable.
you do.
I am not coachable.
Self-admitted, huh?
I know for a fact. I'm always going to think that I know better, and I realize that about myself, and it is a limitation for me, for sure. Yeah. But most people coming out of the military, coachable.
Well, ironically enough, and I know you played some sports too, right?
Sure.
Team sports when you were young. Well, ironically, the military really, when they do their recruiting, they recruit towards that high school athlete that maybe didn't make it, or that college athlete that maybe didn't make it to the pros. Because one, that you're getting someone that's coming in that knows how to work with a team. You know that someone can overcome adversity because there's losses and there's things that just didn't work out right, but you get back out there and you do it. And that's kind of what the military does, and they go after those people. And quite frankly, I think you're a lot more coachable than what you think you are and stuff. You may not know how to spell your name, and that wasn't your fault. That was your parents' fault, but it is what it is.
Nice final straw on that one.
Oh, now it's the final straw, so we're done.
Hey, nice. No, well, I can't counterpunch that. Anthony says, I'm launching my new nonprofit soon.
Cool.
Many military kids who are sitting around doing nothing.
Yep.
They need activities to keep their mind and body and spirit busy while their fathers and mothers are deployed. Youth sports needs opportunities. It leads to opportunities, yeah.
So Anthony Medrano, man, I love this guy. I could talk an hour about Anthony Medrano. Anthony, he's part of our, we had a show, Warrior Home, a television show. Anthony Medrano was the focal point of that show. And just how he's given back and helped out after overcoming some serious adversity. And what he's done is really, he's probably the most vocal person out there as far as helping kids and youth out. Anthony lost his son, unfortunately, to a drowning in a pool. And he also had TBI, traumatic brain injury, and PTSD, and a few other things that came from a military career. And I'm sure he was tempted to sit back and really just rest and just say, what, I'm done. And when I came across him, he was getting past that point and so forth. And he's really stepped it up to help out the world. And if you could help enough other people out, you could have whatever it is that you want in life. And Anthony really has this under the right spectrum of really getting out there and helping. And he's helping at the ground roots of our children that are there, children of military members, and really helping the military by having things to do after they get out of the military. Come be a coach with us. And I'm going to be meeting with Anthony here soon to talk about his nonprofit that he's putting together, because it's really on the ground floor also. But man, I love people. Everyone that's on this thread here are people who are out there. They're veterans themselves, and they're actually making an impact by doing something. So
at least $10,000 going to be given away just at the end of the year. So we're 2.5 months away. If you have any other suggestions, comment below. Please send a message. We'll have a button there on the promotion later. Send a message to the Military Mutual Alliance Center. Let them know, hey, there's this great organization that's doing things for veterans and their families, and there's going to be at least $10,000 given away to these organizations who are participating through the Military Mutual Alliance Center. LT, Great to have you, my friend. Amazing to see the work you're doing, and this is a huge step in giving back. It doesn't surprise me one bit, but it's amazing what you're doing, and I'm glad that we could showcase it here on the show.
100% my honor, and thank you, sir. Brother.
All right. Tremendous stuff. Share this with your friends. Let's do some good today, folks. 10 grand going to military charities that help military members and their families. Help us find out who we should give it to, and share this with your friends, please.